Very good morning. I want to speak to you today on a topic how teachers are inspiring leaders. Why I had chosen this topic is because leadership was not taught to us when we went to IIM Ahmedabad. We learned about leadership only by practicing. But I thought I met so many leaders when I was small in the school who were great leaders. That's why I thought I want to share with you how they were inspiring leaders. I like to tell a Sanskrit sloka, Chandanam Sitalam, Loke, Chandanadapi Chandrama, Chandra Chandana Yoho, Madhye Sitala Sadhu Sangati. Sandalwood is cold, sandalwood is pleasant, and better than that is moon, and even better, cola is amongst the company of teachers. I'm extremely happy to be here in the company of teachers. After 90s, after the liberalization, privatization and globalization, so many dramatic changes have happened in education industry. So many new entrants have come, new courses have come, new teachers have come, new technologies have come, and they increased access to information to the teachers, students, as well as the parents, which is causing many times trouble. This led to increase in expectations of teachers, students, parents, management. In the last 30 years, the demand on these segments has increased substantially without much investment to develop each of these. So therefore, the challenge is, are the teachers relevant today in 2022? Are they relevant with their values? Are their processes, are their skills, are their knowledge, are they relevant today? I feel some of it is no, and the solution should be to transform to an inspiring leader. So who is this inspiring leader? Who is this new teacher? In a simple thing, a teacher, for me, is the most trusted person and is responsible for the class. Energetic, he adapts to the class. Best communicator I have ever met. Extremely hardworking, extremely empathetic, and responsible to the class. So in my experience of last 45 years, and having been CEO for the last 28 years, leadership is not charisma. Leadership is not public relations. Leadership is not showmanship. Leadership is only performance. Teacher as a leader has to perform, has to behave consistently in the class, outside the class, after the class, even in personal life. The behavior has to be consistent, and most importantly, the teacher has to be trusted for the positivity, for the honesty, for the competence, for the outcomes the teacher produces. And leadership, more importantly today, is greatest storyteller. What Gandhiji has done, what other leaders have done that time, and today, the teacher as a leader has to be a great storyteller, simplifying things in a language what others can understand. This leader is ethical in terms of character, in terms of competence, in terms of truth-telling. Teacher sets the direction for the course he or she teaches, aligns the whole class to that course, and motivates the children for doing well minute to minute. At the end, teacher achieves the results by making the students aspirational, by making the students continuous learners, by making the students change agents for the country. Let me recall one teacher who inspired me most in my life, that is Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. When he was President of India, I got a call on 9th November 2005. I launched 108 services in Andhra Pradesh on 15th August 2005. He heard about this project of saving lives in health emergencies. He rang up from Rashtrapati Bhavan and asked me to come and make a presentation to him. What is this new concept? Come and share with me. Against 20 minutes time, he spent almost 50 minutes. I thought there will be a presentation. I took the slides, I took all that, but nothing happened. When I went there, he was alone in that big place of 300 square feet in the room, in a corner, asking me question after question after question. How many lives you saved, what process you follow. I have to give him the relevant page number 32 or 38, or what lives you have saved and what kind of board members you have got, like that. 50 minutes he kept on asking questions. From that time till his death, my meeting with him more than 50 times. He has been my greatest teacher who really inspired me. Particularly 4 things what I learned from him, I want to share here as part of paying respect to him. First was ask questions. Keep on asking questions. Sometimes we need not know the answer, others need not know the answer, but still you can ask questions. I remember when he came to my house for dinner on 12th August 2008, 8 o'clock to 11:30 he spent time. At 11:30 he said, I'll come to your office and see. He came to first floor. Then he asked my daughter-in-law, ask me question. At 11:30 in the night, he was asking, ask me questions. After that, we came down at 12:15. 300 students waiting outside my house. He was asking students, ask me questions. That is the kind of power of asking questions which he taught. Second thing is what I learned from him as an inspiring leader is his humility. When he came to my house, when I removed my shoe sitting outside, he sat there in the same place, same stool, and he removed his shoe. And I said, no need. No, it's your house. Whatever you follow, I have to follow. Third thing I learned from him as a leader, tapping the hidden potential. When I was asked to leave EMRI on 10th Jan 2011, Dr. Kalam rang me up in the night 10:30 and asked me, I will not ask you why you left. I will only ask you what you will do tomorrow morning. Normally all of us ask why you left. But he said, no, I will ask you what you will do tomorrow morning. I said, I will not answer. He said, no, you have to answer. When I didn't answer, he said, from tomorrow morning, you will be a teacher. You keep teaching, you keep sharing, you write a book on what you experienced in the last 40 years. I wrote the book, I gave it to him at his feet, I kept on 8th September 2013. He asked me to share my knowledge. I produced 108 videos of 4 minutes each to let the whole world know what is management, what is leadership, what are soft skills. 4 minutes each of 108 topics, I produced them only because that man tapped my hidden potential. I did not imagine that I could ever teach that much, I could ever share through the technology that much. Lastly, what he taught me, be grateful to what you have. I come from a very small background. My father was in a municipal school, 8 children with a 550 rupees salary. We never felt we lacked anything. We felt extremely comfortable when I went to NIT Warangal, when I went to IIM Ahmedabad. I never ever felt, while my other colleagues were from various English schools and that kind of thing, I ever felt I was small. I was always grateful to my parents, my teachers, who made me what I am today. He kept on reinforcing Dr. Kalam, recalling his teachers of Rameshwaram every time I meet him. He keeps telling about Dr. Satish Dhawan. He keeps telling about Mr. Sarabhai. He keeps on talking about how grateful he is to people who made him what he was. That is another thing I learned from him. I think to close as an inspiring leader, I was in Chennai as a CEO for a German multinational, worked for 11 years and drawing phenomenal salary. But when I heard, when Ramalinga Raju, whose name you may not like to hear today, but he met me on a dais like this when I was speaking. He was speaking with me and said, I have a project in mind to save lives in emergencies. Can you come as a CEO? I said, no, I'm not interested. I'm comfortable in Chennai. I'm getting so much salary, so much comforts. Why the hell I should come and work here with government in a PPP? He said, take time, 1 week and come back. I went to my father, retired teacher, 26th Jan 2005. As a teacher, how great leader he was. When I asked him, Nana, Villeda Udda, he said, what gets written in your obituary when you die? I said, I have achieved so much in life, and my children have studied in the US, and my wife, I made her so many things, I bought her so many things, I got so many houses. All these they get written. He said, no. What gets written is, what have you done to others whom you do not know, who are not related to you? What knowledge you have given to them, what resources you shared with them, what time you shared, what money you shared, even if it is a fraction, even if it is less than 1%, what gets written in your obituary is what you shared with others. That's what teachers do every day. That's what I did. Listen to him. Left Chennai and came here in 2005. Last 70 years, only in public service. I worked with 5 state governments. After leaving 108 with UP, the largest police emergency system I set up in this country, where we receive around 14,000 emergency calls. All these government assignments I did without 1 rupee taking salary from the government. But what a satisfying, what gratifying thing it is to help somebody whom you do not know. I never went to UP, I did not know a single person. But doing a 2,200 crores project for police department in this country, it never ever happened. First time. But all this was because of the teacher, Dr. Kalam, because of the teacher, my father, who told me, leave that job and come to serve people. I sleep well. Despite my diabetes, all that I sleep well. Though I am 69, I still feel extremely young and energetic. When I have to stand and teach for 1 full day, I don't get tired at all. Because when you give back to society, when you give back to others, medical history has shown clearly that your dopamines go up. When your dopamines go up, your satisfaction increases. Your oxytocins increase when you give back to society, because of which your attachment to people whom you serve goes up. And lastly, your frontal cortex activity keeps increasing when you give back to society, because of which you tend to adhere to morals. Throughout my career of last 17 years in public service, so many chief ministers, so many politicians whom I met have gone to jail, have gone up, but nothing happened to me. I am standing here. Because giving back to society ethically and morally is still possible in this country, provided you are clear what you want to do. Annadanam, paramdanam. Vidyadanam, atah param. Annena shanika truptihi, yavad jivancha vidya. My father sold all his 30 acres of land and made all our children study. I went to IIM, my father was a teacher, my younger brother professor in JNU, my next brother a chartered accountant, my next brother is managing director of Citibank. All this, he believed education is the most important. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity to address you. My best wishes to each one of you. Thank you.